I've gone on record saying that the Rifleman is one of my favorite mechs. It just looks really, really awesome to play. But what you're going to see as you dive through the technical manuals, based on how the rules pull together with the narrative, some mechs function better than others at all weight classes. Maybe you have a mech with a good blend of weapons and heat sinks so it can fire every turn. Maybe you have a mech hyper-focused on one type of weapon with a large amount of armor, like the Awesome. And then you have some mechs that, for various reasons, combination of weapons trying to build the narrative, they're okay. Well, from the meta perspective of pure math hammer, they're not really good. And the Rifleman is one of them. But the Rifleman is always on my table for two reasons. I try to approach Battletech from a narrative perspective, right? We're stepping out of space and time. We're sitting down or we're standing up to play this game. Miniatures, terrain, everything painted, 80s music going, getting pumped, getting excited. For that moment, you and I are living, experiencing, breathing Battletech. But at the same time, I'm trying to do my best to win. I'm trying to put up a good fight, not only to give you a good game, but if I'm going to immerse myself in this narrative and I'm a mech commander, I'm in charge of some very, very rare resources, and I have to do my best to win. Even going for tabletop glory and the chance for glory on the table, I try to put up a good fight and a good game. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it's a draw. But in exploring that, finding a middle way, because, and this is true of every war game, possibly with the exception of historical wargaming, where yes, you can go to head with historicals, like Chain of Command or Bolt Action. But if we're doing the historical thing historically, the idea is we're looking at a battle. We're trying to create the table literally one-to-one to that battle. And not all battles are equal, especially depending on the time period and the armies that are present. So you go into a historical game from the perspective of, I'm outnumbered, I'm outgunned, I'm getting flanked on the side, and I've got a massive attack coming at me. Historically, this battle was lost. Can I somehow win this battle? Or can I do better than the history books? Or just try to explore that perspective? But putting that aside, now going into, say, a sci-fi game like Battletech, you could play the meta. You could say, what are the crunchiest, most dangerous mechs? Just field strip them, put them out, and just totally crush. Well, the challenge with that, of course, is there's a lot of fun stuff to play in Battletech. There's a lot of cool-looking mechs. There's the possibility for a lot of action shots. I guess a side comparison would be playing a role-playing game. If I pull in some D&D for a moment, right? Because if you've been following my channel, you know that I love D&D. If I play D&D, yes, we gravitate towards certain character classes based on our personality, but that would kind of be like every single time all I do is play a fighter. That's it. Fighter, fighter, fighter. Now, some players are like Fritz. I do that all the time. But even if you primarily play one character class, you want to explore the different character classes in D&D. A game that I was able to participate in a little while ago, I was playing a druid. I haven't played a druid in forever, but the stats were just like solid for a druid, and it made sense for the party. So I'm like, I'll play a druid. Back to Battletech, same thing. You want to build up your miniature collection. You want to build up your lances. You want to kind of explore some of the options and some of the exciting possibilities. So if we're going to do that and pull in some of these less than optimal machines like the Rifleman, how do we balance that out? The easiest way that I balance that out, because again, I'm trying to win, combined arms, tanks and infantry, or at the very least, tanks and support vehicles. And I'm not going to turn this into a tactica of tanks versus mechs, because I've explored that, push that up to the Battletech playlist. But if you find you're building a lance and you're taking some less than stellar mechs, by incorporating vehicles, tanks, and support units like that, the battle value buy-in for those units is not only much less, but you tend to get more of a punch. So you can use them to supplement the weak spots Okay, here's a perfect example of some weak spots. Putting down 2 or 3 riflemen, or maybe a lance of riflemen. I don't know. I got a good deal, or I 3D printed a bunch of stuff. So if I put those down to play, then the rifleman, it's got a little bit of long range bite. It's got the lasers to back it up, but the heat sinks are just awful. So if you mad rush a bunch of riflemen, they're not going to be able to keep you away fast enough. Now I could backpedal, but you're advancing, I'm retreating. Battle value buy-in, I put down some baby SRM carriers ready to go and just hide them right there. As soon as you come up, I'll blast you. So you can add and supplement the cheapest way. I mean, I could put other mechs down, but that's inflating the battle value. I can get the most punch by supplementing the weaknesses. So when you're ready to make that jump to combined arms, what I would suggest looking at is exploring the option of, here are the mechs that I'm going to play. And what are the weaknesses? Where are they weak? These 2 lances or 3 lances, where are they weak? Look at your motor pool of vehicles and figure out from that perspective how you can supplement and how you can build that. So you get to play a narrative list, you get to play some fun machines, but you've still got some Battletech bite.